Hey everybody, it's Tripl-L, and hey! Here we are, Shokugeki no Soma, chapter 275. I didn't cover the chapter before this one because I couldn't find anything really incredible to talk about. I just thought it was a pretty standard chapter. I mean, it's just pretty much two guys about to have a Shokugeki. This chapter, however, there's a few things I'm way more excited to talk about, and I thought this was a pretty interesting chapter. There's one thing that they did in the chapter, or like just the result itself, was something that I think is still consistent with the chapter, or sorry, with the series power scaling. So I really enjoy the result for that. But anyway, let's just like talk about the chapter a little bit more in depth. So if you've been following the videos, you know, like way back when, you know, I was very into the idea of a dual monster type thing coming into Shokugeki no Soma. You know, just whenever people were cooking stuff, monsters would just show up and they just do things to people, and it'd just be a great time. You know, maybe even we can go Yu-Gi-Oh! GX a little bit and have the underground duels, you know, with the underground Shokugekis, people wearing shock collars. When they lose, they get shocked for every vote they lose or something. That would be pretty cool too. I mean, it's pretty hard to make it work, but you know, as time went on, I came to peace with it. We're not going to get Yu-Gi-Oh! Crossing over into this. We're not going to get a Yu-Gi-Oh! Type system. What we are going to get, though, is a Bleach style Zanpakuto Spirits thing. And you know, jokes aside, I did find that very funny, right? Like, Suzuki here is talking a lot about the knives and how the knife guided him to do things a certain way. Then you have Soma's like just over focus on the knife that the guy was using, and it just makes you think like, yeah, Zanpakuto Spirits. Heck, that little bit where the guy is even telling him, hey, you just ate my food, you're not going to be able to stand up. Like, mind you, we've gotten pretty far in the escalation of what food does to people in this series. But anyway, that one panel where Soma is just grabbing onto his shoulder and forcing himself up, and then he falls over to the ground. That was so shonen, alright, man? Like, that's the kind of thing that you would see it, like, say, in Bleach. You would have this moment where the guy who's beating down on Ichigo or something tells him that, yeah, you're not going to be able to get up after that move, and then all of a sudden he gets up for that little bit and shows him like, whoa, he can actually get up. You know, that was totally shonen. Now with the talk of knives and the importance of knives and swords, I feel like we could go into knife spirits. Like, I know we can't get stands because Soma already did the metaphor, but I would love to see some knife spirits. I'm ready, Soma. Bring it. But anyway, silliness aside, and going into the rest of the chapter, I really did like it. I liked the result. I'm not gonna go into the cooking because I don't know enough about the cooking. All I know is that, okay, whatever, this kid did something different. He went for a whole new thing. But there was one note that Soma made in the chapter, which was about and I can't show things on the video either because of the whole copyright things that have been happening on the channel, but he made a note about, to be able to make this type of dish, the guy would need like vast amount of experience. And I really like that note because it is still consistent with the general idea. People's power in Shokugeki no Soma is directly proportional to their experience, and the experience itself, chances are people are super experienced the older they are. So seeing this makes sense, like seeing and saying that someone that has experience could make this type of dish, that makes sense to me. I think that's totally fair. Like, even Soma's position as the first seat, we gotta remember that is really a formality until I see Soma going down or taking on Ishiki head on. I don't think Soma's the best chef in the school, right? And a lot of times I don't think the age gap or the experience gap is just gonna be easily overcome. And there's exceptions to that, of course. Like Irina has a naturally, I guess, ranking disrupting power or ability. The God Tongue is such a different tool that it being able to upset rankings, I think that's totally fine. But otherwise, I do like that experience is still such a big deal here. And in terms of Suzuki, I think that's the name that the kid came up with. Or, you know, Asahi. We pretty much know it's Asahi. We can assume it's Asahi. The thing with him, we know he's a little bit older than Soma. We know that he is a underground chef. So him having experience makes sense. And then he was also taught by Joichiro. That gives him a significant edge we can assume that the kid's also super talented. That gives him a significant edge over Soma, who is not super talented. Like, we have to remember, this is a big issue with Soma. He is not talented. His triumphs have come out all because he doesn't stop. He's just doesn't give up. So it makes sense. Now, the only thing that with this kid, or with Asahi, that's the problem, is that he was able to beat Joichiro, and we don't really have any way to reconcile that yet. I still think that there might have been some kind of mental disruption when Joichiro was going down against this guy, but right now, the way I see it, I don't think that this guy is older than Shinomiya. He does have experience in underground cooking circles. I would still wager, though, that any person who is significantly older and talented than this kid should be able to take him down, unless this kid has a overwhelming talent like, say, what Irina has, or what Cinnamon Man has. I'm forgetting his name. Oh, Akira. There we go. Either what Irina has or Akira's nose. He needs to have like one of those like overwhelming forces to be able to legitimately say, like, Dojima, for instance. I wouldn't think that this kid could beat Dojima, for instance. Again, it all depends on who has the most experience, and I feel like Dojima might be able to still overwhelm him. Soma still has room to grow, so him losing, not a big deal in the long run. So let's talk about the knife real quick. The knife is interesting, specifically that Soma got really upset about it, and I'm going to put the panel up now because we're significantly into the chapter that, or into the video that no one should be looking here. But this panel again is like super striking. I'm really interested because Soma got really upset about this. Like, Soma's upsetness was able to overwhelm the food orgasm that he had. So I'm really wondering, you know, what is the knife just Joichiro's knife, or is there more into it, right? Is that knife maybe a memento from Soma's mother? I think that would be really interesting. I just like that panel. Like, it makes me feel, I get really excited seeing that panel, and I want to see the story behind that knife. I want to know why exactly Soma tried so hard after the guy like pretty much revealed or showed Soma the knife, and he got a better look at it. Yeah, man, I'm pretty excited. And at the end, we end the chapter off with like Irina getting carried off, and that's cool and all, but I hope that this isn't going to turn into like a Save Irina arc. Like, we just did that last time. We don't need to do it now. We don't need this guy getting Irina into some kind of weird marriage. This guy's a nobody. He just wants to like claim the top of the food chain. I don't want to go into we have to save Irina from her wedding kind of thing. Yeah, it would be super dramatic, but I don't. That'd just be annoying. But anyway, the big standout things for the chapter are just the teacher is significantly stronger than the first seat. I don't think that should be that weird. I still think the previous third seat, or sorry, the previous first seat was still better than Soma in a lot of respects. We got the knife. And we got just the fact that this guy's cooking is so good that you will go unconscious. I'm pretty excited. Oh, speaking of the whole unconscious thing, one thing that I really appreciated on a technical note from this chapter is we had a flashback of just what had happened with Soma, because we walked in on him and Soma was in the trash can, which I thought was a really funny image. But after that, I just got a little bit confused, so thank God that Shonen Jump just had that general policy of when you're doing a flashback, make the pages black, so that people know you were in a flashback. And I just like that they gave us that little extra visual cue so that I didn't get too confused in this chapter. Anyway guys, those are my thoughts for this chapter. I'm interested to see what happens next week. But yeah, let me know what you thought down below, and until next time, hope you have a great day. And if I missed anything, please let me know.